We're going to try to loop around. We don't want to be obvious with our attack, or else they just turn and run.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So, bad place to back. 2 people in mid. We do have our ultimate. Our 3 is going to come off of cooldown in about 5 seconds. Morgan's here. We're going to activate our ultimate. We're able to get the pick onto the Morgan. We're going to chase this Neja down. We use our blink. And we're able to get the pick onto the Neja. What a do, Scooby-Doo, it's your boy SeanyB Gaming, and today we have a viewer request to play Bakasura in jungle. If you are new to the channel, I upload every single day. I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intention of seeing what went right, what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If there is something that we learn together, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe for more content. If you are a returning viewer, Bakasura I feel like is one of the easiest gods to hit level 20 before 20 minutes in this game. Bakasura has a kit that allows him to traverse the map and secure jungle camps relatively easy, so you want to try to invade with him as often as possible. We kind of mess up on our first rotation, and I'll get into why and what happens in just a moment. Until then, let's go ahead and jump into his kit. Bakasura's 1. Takedown. Bakasura leaps to the ground target location, dealing damage to all enemies in the area and increasing the damage they take from all sources by 10% for 3 seconds. Bakasura's 2. Eat Minion. Bakasura grabs a minion and devours it, healing himself and granting a protections buff. Large jungle monsters must be at 33% health to be eaten, but will provide 2 minions towards his ultimate. He can have up to 6 minions in his ultimate. The protections are going to be 10 at level 1 and 30 at level 5, and the protection duration is going to be 10 seconds. So our very first mistake was that we jumped and missed some of the speed camp minions. This is going to make us a little bit later to mid lane. We're going to go ahead and rotate to blue, and our solo laner is not helping us out, which means we're going to be even later to the middle lane. Typically, you want to clear the speed camp. You're going to have your solo laner on blue camp. You're able to clear that relatively quickly. Then you can make it to middle lane after hitting the harpies with Hand of the Gods. We're going to run over to Hand of the God, the camp, level up our 2 after our 1, eat it, and the enemy jungler is already in mid. Typically, you would arrive here first because Bakasura has relatively quick clear. The only god that has better clear at the first rotation is Arachne. We're going to run to the enemy red buff, and this is our mistake. Typically, we can do this no problem. We would run over, devour the large minion, but the enemy jungler is here, poking us, and we just lost so much health. We should have realized that this was a bad first rotation, but instead, we get picked. Typically, you could go speed, blue, harpies, enemy red buff, oracles with your mid laner, red buff, bat camps, the mid harpy, then the dual mid harpies, your harpy camp between speed and blue, and then go to your speed buff. That did not happen. It'll happen on the second and third rotation, but we really messed up early on in this first rotation. So let's go ahead and go back to Bakasura's kit. Bakasura's 3, Butcher Blades. Bakasura passively gains physical power. When activated, he gains additional true damage for each strike for the duration. The duration is going to last for 6 seconds. The passive physical power is going to be 10 at level 1, 30 at level 5, and the true damage is going to be 10 at level 1 and 70 true damage at level 5. Bakasura's ultimate, Regurgitate. Bakasura regurgitates all the minions consumed by his Eat Minion ability at a ground target location that slows for 3 seconds and cripples enemy players. This area lasts for 5 seconds. Bakasura's basic attacks become cone attacks, and he is immune to crowd control for a short duration. Bakasura is able to use Eat Minion, his 2, on his regurgitated minions. The slow duration is going to be 3 seconds. It's going to be a 20% slow at level 1 and a 40% slow at level 5. The cone attack duration is going to be 5 seconds, and he's going to be CC immune for 1 second. And finally, Bakasura's passive, Insatiable Hunger. Bakasura's attack and movement speed temporarily increase for each enemy that he kills. It can stack up to 3 times. He's going to gain 7% attack speed per stack and 7% movement speed per stack. The buff duration is going to be 10 seconds. In terms of the leveling order, at level 1, we want to put a point into our 1. Level 2, put a point into our 2. Level 3, put a point into our 3. Then at level 4, we want to put another point into our 3. Level 5, put a point into our ultimate. Then we want to max out our ultimate whenever we can. Max out our 3, max out our 1, then max out our 2. We're trying to eyeball the enemy red buff. Since it's not up, we're going to go ahead and try to steal a little bit of farm from the dual lane. Ideally, we want to save our 2 for the red buff. I'm going to go ahead and start working on this harpy. Rama rotates in, so we're going to use our 2 to secure this camp. The Morgan's working on the red buff. If we had her 2, we'd be able to out-secure it right here, but unfortunately she's able to secure it. Enemy team's rotating in on us, so we're going to go ahead and start falling back. On an ideal game where we don't die trying to steal the enemy red buff, which I feel like is a rare occurrence, we usually don't, we would want to do 2 rotations before backing for Golden Blade. So we would hit our speed twice, try to steal the enemy red buff twice, steal our red buff twice, hit a couple camps, and then whenever there's 20 seconds left on our speed timer, we would back and pick up Golden Blade. Golden Blade is going to provide us 30 physical power, 15% attack speed, and 10% movement speed. It has a passive that all basic attacks will also hit enemies within a 15 unit radius for 50% of the damage. So if we just attack the large minion, we should be able to kill the small minions at the camps. We just hit level 5. With Bakasura, you want to run around and farm as much as possible, and then only look for engagements when you have your ultimate. At least until we can get a few more items online. We have full stacks on our passive. If you look at Bakasura's passive icon, the yellow dots at the top represent how many minions are going to be in your ultimate. We're going to go ahead and cast it. She uses her dash. We're going to jump on her. She uses a med, which is a terrible relic, and we're able to secure her. If she had a shell, she might have been able to survive right there. We're going to go ahead and use our 2 to eat the harpy right there. Rama's pretty weak. The enemy red buff is not going to be up, so we're going to go ahead and rotate over. We're going to blink in, activate our 3, get some true damage, go ahead and jump, and we're able to get the pick onto the Rama. When using our ultimate, we want to use our 3 and then cast our ultimate. The 3 is going to activate our true damage, and then we can just basic attack with our ultimate. If we use our 3 after our ultimate, we might miss out on a basic attack. So we want to try to use as many basic attacks when we have the cone form as possible. We are finally able to secure the enemy red buff. We're going to start working on these oracles now that we have Golden Blade, trading basic attacks between the 2. Our red buff should be up pretty soon. It looks like we're going to make a gank type and mid. We're able to get the pick onto the Morgan. We're going to jump. Syl is able to dash right as we jump in. Our blink is down. She's able to root us, so she's probably out. And our Ra is able to get the pick. So while we were chasing kills in mid, we did not get our red buff, so our timing is going to be a little bit off. Our speed is also up, but we want to secure our red buff before backing, getting boots, and then going for speed. We're going to go ahead and back. And we're going to be picking up the Ninja Tabi. The Ninja Tabi are going to provide us with some attack speed. You want attack speed on Bakasura. He is a basic attack monster. The higher our attack speed, the more basic attacks we can get off in our ultimate, while our basic attacks are in the cone form. Ra's rotating right. We'll keep an eye on the minimap, see how that goes. We're going to go ahead and drop this blue buff. So right now, even though we were the first one to die, we're going to go ahead and use our 3, get some basics. We kind of expect her to dash. She dashes to the jungle, gets the cripple. I'm going to go ahead and eat a minion. Not exactly sure why we saved our ultimate right there. I feel like normally we would just cast it. We're going to go ahead and clear the middle wave since the Ra rotated right and missed the wave. We pop a health potion. We have 2 people rotating in. We're going to go ahead and start working on the red. 2 people here. She uses her ultimate. We're able to secure the red. They're still kind of chasing. We're going to activate our 3 and then use our ultimate. We're able to get the pick onto the Morgan. And we're able to get the pick onto the Scylla. I guess that's why we saved our ultimate. Although I don't think we had the foresight to know that was going to happen. We're going to go ahead and eat the Harpy. Rotate to our back camp. Our red should be spawning pretty soon. Yeah, we're just going to hang out and wait for this red. We're attacking the center, or the large minion, and then we're going to consume it as soon as we can with our 2. We're going to go ahead and back and start working on another sword. This sword, we're going to be going into the stone cutting sword. We're going to go ahead and get our speed buff. Oh no, we're breaking rotation. In most Bakasura games that I play, I stick hard to the rotation, kind of regardless of what's happening with my team, so that way I can level up as much as possible. Right now we're missing a little bit of XP by not going for the blue buff. We're going to go ahead and use our ultimate on this Rama. He's able to use his ultimate to buy himself a little bit more time. We're very weak. We get the jump onto him. We get hit by a med. We're going to blink in, use our 3, get a basic attack, and we're able to get the pick onto the Terra. We're going to go ahead and eat the Harpy. That's going to heal us a little bit. Right now we're camping the enemy red buff. We want to try to steal as many of these as possible. It's going to help our mid laner out by denying the enemy mid laner some farm. It's also going to level us up and hurt the enemy jungler. So instead of going blue then Harpies over in the left jungle, we went right, kind of got a pick, which isn't always the case. Sometimes you're a little unlucky there. And if we didn't get a pick, we probably would have missed out on some XP. We're going to go ahead and drop the blue buff. Now our timers in left jungle are all out of whack. We are level 13, 11 minutes in, highest level in the lobby. We're going to go ahead and start working on the red buff. And then we're going to go ahead and back and pick up the stone cutting sword. The stone cutting sword is going to provide 50 physical power, 7% movement speed. It has a passive that melee basic attacks decrease the enemy's physical protections by 10 and increase your physical protections by 10 for 3 seconds. Maximum stack of 3 stacks. So this is acting like a demonic grip or kind of like an executioner. If we land basic attacks, we're reducing their protections, but the difference with this item is we're stealing protections. So this item gives us a decent power spike of 50 power, which is a lot for a single item. Gives us some movement speed, which is always helpful, and it's going to reduce the enemy's protections, giving us more. This item is just absolutely fantastic on Bakasura. We're going to go ahead and take the enemy red buff. We do have our ultimate with 6 minions in it. There's Rama's dash. We're going to cast our ultimate. We're going to go ahead and just gobble them. Gobble gobble. Try to get some basics onto this Terra. And Danzavora is able to get the pick on him. Or her. I'm going to go ahead and eat the mid harpy. Start working on the other mid harpy. We're going to look to invade a little bit right here. The harpies just spawned, so we're going to go ahead and take that from the enemy jungler. Gonna get some basics onto this Neja. Get the jump, get some more basics, and we're able to clean up the Neja. Our speed is going to be up pretty soon. I think we're better off backing right here. Oh, looks like we're not going to back for our speed. There's a grouping of 3 in mid. Maybe just Scylla. I thought I saw 3 people there. We go ahead and use our ultimate. We're able to get the pick onto Scylla. The Morgan changes into Bakasura, and she casts her ultimate, which cripples us and prevents us from being able to jump out of there. Unfortunate. I feel like we definitely tried to jump out, but we were just crippled from the Bakasura ultimate. So now we should be able to kind of reset our rotation. Watching it back, I played a couple of Bakasura games, and our rotations this game differ from every other game that I played Bakasura. Like I said, I think the ideal rotation path is speed, blue, the harpy between speed and blue. Then you want to make your way to the enemy red buff, try to get that off of cooldown as often as possible. Then you want to try to secure your red buff. Then you can hit the back harpies on the right jungle, hit the mid harpy in right jungle, check the mid harpies on the left jungle, and then hit the harpy between speed and blue again. And by the time you hit all of those camps in that order, you should be looking to back to upgrade items and then make your way to speed buff again. I think there's even a little bit of wiggle room in that rotation. So if the mid harpies aren't there, you're actually going to have about 10 seconds before your speed spawns. We do have our ultimate. We have 2 stacks on our ultimate. We're going to activate our 3. Bakasura is the target that the Morgan changes into. We're going to go ahead and cast our ultimate. Get some basics. We're able to get the pick onto the Neja. Get the jump onto the Morgan. And we're able to get a pick onto her. I'm going to go ahead, drop the Harpy camp. Enemy speeds up. We're going to go ahead and take that. Nothing makes me madder than losing my speed to the enemy jungler. We're going to go ahead and use our 3. We get crippled by the Scylla one. We're going to go ahead and make our way to this Terra. Get some basics onto her. She uses a sprint. And we're able to get the pick onto the Terra. The Morgan's here. We're going to go ahead and hit her decoy. Scylla's here. Kind of a bad fight for us. They're hiding under tower. We're going to loop back around in jungle. Just do a full circle. They're stepping out of tower a little bit. We do have our ultimate. We're going to activate our 3, cast our ultimate. We get rooted by the Neja. We're able to jump out and avoid the Scylla ultimate. We're going to go ahead and eat the Harpy, heal up a little bit. Enemy red buff is here. Although we're very late to steal it. At this point in the game, the rotations don't matter quite as much. But they're still kind of important. Rama's over in right, getting the tower. I think if he would have committed to the back, he actually might have been able to get there before we could. We were going to save our jump for his dash. We're able to get the pick onto the Rama. Our team makes the call to go for the Gold Fury. This is the Primal Fury, so whenever we destroy it, our team is going to gain a buff that increases the amount of damage that we deal to jungle camps and future objectives. This includes the Fire Giant, Pyromancer, all Gold Furies, Colored Camps, and Harpies. Scylla's here. We have our ultimate in 5 seconds, so we're kind of waiting, trying to position ourselves in a good spot. We're going to go ahead. She's about to dash, so we're just going to cast our ultimate, get that cripple field, and we're able to get the pick on her. We're going to go ahead and use our 2 to consume one of the minions that we spawn. Terra's one shot. She's got some wiggles, and we're able to clean her up with a basic attack. We have a pretty penny in the pocket, so we're going to go ahead and back. Next, we're going to be picking up Hastened Katana. Hastened Katana is going to provide us 25 physical power, 15% attack speed, and 7% movement speed. It has a passive that hitting an enemy with a basic attack grants haste for 1 second, causing you to be immune from basic attack movement speed penalties. So now we can stick to somebody like Glue, and since we also had so much money, we were also able to pick up Qin Sias. Qin Sias is going to provide us 40 physical power, 20% attack speed, and it has a passive that on basic attack hits deal physical damage equal to 3% of the target's maximum health. If the target had over 2,000 health, this damage scales up to 5% if the target had 2,750 health or more.
Retreat!
Hasten's going to allow us to stick to somebody like Glue. Now that we have it, we can start looking to fight people with our ultimate on cooldown. Qin Sias is going to make it really good for attacking the tankier characters. If the enemy had a billion protections and they had 2,750 health, it would only take 20 basic attacks to get the pick onto them. There's a team fight going on in right. We really want to be there, but at the same time, they're leaving this left Phoenix wide open. We're going to go ahead and make a play for the Phoenix since we're already over here. Since we have the minions in the Phoenix ring, we're dealing double damage to the Phoenix. If we were just trying to attack the Phoenix with no minions here, we'd be doing half that damage. We're going to go ahead and back, see if we can help out in the team fight in right. We're going to try to loop around. We don't want to be obvious with our attack, or else they just turn and run.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So, bad place to back. 2 people in mid. We do have our ultimate. Our 3 is going to come off of cooldown in about 5 seconds. Morgan's here. We're going to activate our ultimate. We're able to get the pick onto the Morgan. We're going to chase this Neja down. We use our blink. And we're able to get the pick onto the Neja. Terra's over in left. Looks like she backed. We're going to go ahead, eat one of the minions, heal up a little bit. Our team's pushing mid. We're probably going to come in from the side. We're going to push one more wave. Eat for the heal. Rama's here. We're going to activate R3. The RDO uses her cripple field. We're able to get the pick onto the Rama. Terra's very weak. We're going to kind of fall back. We don't want to stand in that damage. Bakasura is on the enemy team apparently, so the Morgan changed into us. He goes down really quickly. We're going to use our 3, try to chase down this Terra. We do not have our blink, so she's probably out right here. We're going to gobble a minion, heal up a little bit. We're pretty weak ourselves, so we got to be kind of careful here. Neja uses her sash, and then she uses her ultimate. We're going down here. I don't think there's anything we can do. We tried spamming our Aegis once we landed. Unfortunately, we were still crowd controlled. Still was able to get a pick onto the Nuwa. And the enemy team surrenders. Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you feel like you learned anything at all, check out the channel and subscribe for more content. These stats for this game will be posted in just a moment. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.